Okay, in this video we're going to look at area. An area that we've looked at before and add a couple more bits to it on here. So we're going to look at the square, rectangle, triangle, circle, and then we're going to look at the area of a parallelogram and a trapezium on here. So I'll add a couple bits more area onto these until our knowledge on here. Okay, I'm going to show you the formula for a square. With my students, I tell them not to bother learning this because it's much easier just to remember one formula than try and remember two on these ones. I'll go through it anyway on here. But this square, remember, has equal sides and equal angles. So if you know one of the side lengths, you can work out all the way around on here. So it'll be L times L on this bit here. So if we had a 5 centimetre square, that means that's 5, that's 5, that's 5, so that'd be 5 times 5, or 5 squared. If you remember the rectangle, what we've done before, it's just length times width. So like in a circle, square, it's 5 times 5. So it's length times width. If you just remember that one, that works for squares and rectangles, rather than trying to remember two different formulas onto here. Rectangles, again, as I just said, is length times width. We did this in the last video. So an 8 by 5 will be 8 times 5, which gives me 40. Remember, triangle was area is half base times height, because a triangle is half the size of the rectangle it sits in. So half base times height, we've got a 12 by 7, so we just do 12 times 7 to there and divide by 2, gives you 42 meters squared. Circles, we needed another formula, which we learned these before. Area is pi r squared on this one, so the radius on this bit is half the diameter. So we've got 3.14 times 14 squared. So the area of this circle will be 615.4 millimeters squared. Okay, today we're going to look at the area of another shape on here, which is parallelogram here. And another formula to remember on here is a parallelogram is the area is the base times the height, not the length. So if I draw this out, the parallelogram, that's very much like a rhombus at the moment, but I'll try and make it not so. So there. So we've got this parallelogram on here, and the base is 20 centimeters, and the height is 11 centimeters. Quite often they will give you this measurement as well, just to confuse a little bit, to see if you know the formulas. People times these together. It's not that length you want there, it is this length here. If we think about it, if I do a line down here and I took this bit across, if we took this piece here and put it over there, it would make a rectangle onto here. So it is that distance we're wanting, not that distance there, this bit. This is just the cutout from here. And it has to be a parallelogram, you have to have equal size, both sides obviously, to this bit here. So what did I say that was? That was 11 centimeters, wasn't it? 11 centimeters. So all we have for area for parallelogram is area equals base times height. And the base here is 20 centimeters times 11, which gives me 220 centimeters squared. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Last shape we're going to learn today is a trapezium. And the formula for the trapezium is the area is the half of A plus B. So you're finding the difference between these two and adding together and dividing it by 2 onto here, and we times it by the half. So the area of a trapezium is half a plus b times the height. onto this one here. So because we've got a different length on both of these ones. Let's draw one out and I'll give it a go. So we've got there, a trapezium, parallel sides there. These bits on this bit, and the formula is area equals a half A plus B times height. It can be written out in different ways, but this works quite well. So we've got A is that distance there, and B is that distance there. B. A and B, and the height all the way up is the height, or h. So let's put some numbers into this. If A is 12, B is 17, and height is 10, we'll call them centimetres, centimetres, centimetres. We've got 12 and 17 and 10. So let's put this into the formula. So area equals a half of A, which is 12, plus 17, times by the height. Grab our calculator. On there. Let's see, it's not reflecting onto this bit. So let's go for working this out. Got 17 plus 12. 17 plus 12 equals 29. So half of 29 times 10. Onto that bit there, half of 29 times 10. So 29 times 10 divided by 2 equals 145 centimetres squared. This bit there. So it's half A plus B times the height. What's here will give you 145 centimetres squared. One of these ones, you can logically work it out, but quite often it gets a bit more confusing about where you actually are with the A's and the B's on these bits there. I might make a video later just to prove this theorem here for you. Okay.